Hi, I'm Lori Barkus, a divorce and family law attorney. And today I want to give you some general information about what to do about custody and parenting time during this COVID-19 pandemic. Now, I say general information because this is not legal advice. I want to make sure nobody thinks it is legal advice. You should never take legal advice from a video or from somebody who's not an attorney that you are sitting down with and getting information from in a specific consultation or meeting. But that being said, there's certain general things we can talk about. A lot of parents are wondering, what do? I have a schedule with the other parent. Do we keep following that? How does that work? Now, there's a lot of facts and circumstances that I can't get into, but the general rule is that your agreements and your orders are still in place. They're in place until somebody changes them. So generally you're expected to follow them if and when you can. Now, first of all, if you and the other parent agree to something else, that's fine. You can always do that. You have an agreement. Make sure you have an agreement. One person agreeing is not an agreement. It means both of you actually agreed to something. Better yet, that you have it in writing. That is totally fine. But what's happening a lot is there are situations where one parent has some fears and concerns and says, I'm not sure if the children should go to the other parent at this time. And the other parent is not on board with that. Or the parents just can't agree on how to do this. Again, generally, your agreement is still in effect. So you can't just simply change that on your own. There are certain situations where there's fears and concerns that we're all going through, and then there are things that are more severe. I mean, clearly, if somebody has tested positive for this virus, they're not going to be around anybody, let alone their children. If they may be exposed to it, if they are at a high risk of exposure, these are facts and circumstances that may come into play in a decision. But before you do anything unilaterally, acting on your own without the permission of the other parent, I would strongly encourage you to speak to a lawyer in your state who understands the law, who knows what orders have been put out. In Florida, one of the two states I practice in addition to Colorado, Florida has put out different administrative orders in certain counties which give parents some guidance on this. You should make sure you're familiar with that. Speak to a lawyer, ask how that applies to your particular situation. And whatever you do, make sure that the contact between parents and children is very frequent at this time. If one parent's time is restricted, they should have even more FaceTime, even more telephone calls than before. And even if you're not, your kids are going through this too, and depending on their ages, they might be very anxious and scared too. So make sure you keep that communication going. That's all I have on this topic. I will be coming back on within the next couple of days to talk about the financial concerns associated with the COVID pandemic, specifically child support, alimony maintenance, and existing orders, and what you should do if you find yourself in a position where you can't pay that, or if you are in a position where you are not being paid for that. Thank you so much for your time. I hope this finds you healthy and safe, and have a great rest of the day.